What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Fun day. Got Big Rick in the building. And we got our boy Derek Wayne in the building. All decked out, man. Got the Rick rocking the salute to service jersey. We haven't seen it all season. Derek's repping the Titans. We got the number one pick in the draft coming up in April. Let's go.
Heck yeah, we're number one.
And their GM said he's not opposed to entertaining an offer to trade it away.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't see no QB we want this year. Cam Ward's cool and Sanders is cool, but not necessarily what I had in mind.
What about Will Howard?
I don't even know who that is.
Quarterback for the national championship Ohio State team.
Nobody knows who Will Howard is outside of Ohio State fans.
Nobody knew who Brock Purdy was either. Nobody knew who Josh Allen was either.
And nobody knew who Tom Brady was either. So
it doesn't matter if you know who they are.
Yeah. You
what
know
matters
who
is how quick you learn about them.
Yeah, right. Anyways, and you guys know me. I'm Glick. This is Unnecessary Roughness right here on the Nonsensical Network. Live every Sunday talking sports and whatnot. You can find all the shows bio.link/nonsensical network. All of our links are there. Give us a follow, give us a like, and don't forget to turn on your notifications. Also there at the bio.link is Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. You can get all your nonsensical swag there or just personalized stuff. Give Nikki a follow on Facebook and Instagram, and if there's something you want, hit her up and let her know, and she'll get you taken care of. Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. Derek, I got to put your links up there on our bio link too, man, to your music and whatnot. Where can everybody find your music at, brother?
Just anywhere, Derek Wayne Douglas. That's it.
There you go, man.
I'll shoot you. I could shoot you a link, man. I got a link I can send you. It's from my link tree.
Oh, yeah.
That way, if somebody clicks on it,
most people put their OnlyFans in their link tree.
That's what I do.
I thought so.
Mine's in my bio.
My link is a tree.
It's something.
What's going on, Shatters Box? We see you guys already. KC go whoop ass. Everybody just get over it.
Yeah, the refs got paid. The refs got paid.
Yeah.
Wow.
What up, what? You need to
what
update.
Up,
what do I need to update? What? He said, "Hi, father."
Hello, child.
Wally, go Bills. Yeah, Bildos. Hello, Bildos. Oh, Lord have mercy. Fuck the Chiefs and the cheating refs. I think we're all in agreement there. Anyways, gentlemen, how we doing today, man? How's everybody doing?
Just living my best life.
Yeah, same.
These are men of few words, ladies and gentlemen.
Just I love that we get to just watch football.
I gotta tell you, yesterday totally fucked me up. I had no college ball, no pro ball, no kids. Like, I felt like my whole world, like I was caught in the rapture and everything was gone.
Man, what is wrong with you? There were so many sports on.
No, because I don't watch basketball.
Hockey was on.
It was a women's basketball. I saw a sport over the weekend. It was women's basketball, but it wasn't WNBA or college basketball. It was some women's league. It was like laces versus nylon or something.
What?
Yeah. Was it and I watched a little bit. Well, wrestling was on last night, but I watched a little bit of hockey. I got to see a little bit of hockey. Blue Jackets. Shout out to the Blue Jackets. They beat the Kings in overtime, and unfortunately, the Kraken smacked up my Penguins.
I think I do believe the Sabres lost yesterday too. I think it was a 3-2 game.
The Sabres did lose to the Oilers, and the Predators. I don't know if you're a hockey guy or not, Derek, but your Nashville Predators lost to the Mighty Ducks.
They're not good. The Preds are not good this year.
It's been a little bit. We've been struggling since we fired the coach a couple years ago.
That and since Carrie Underwood's boyfriend retired.
Oh yeah,
our husband.
But we were good. We were good after he left too, and then like when he came back that one year and made a good run, and then we were all right, and then we just kind of that was it. It's been rough.
Now the Blue Jackets are hanging tight to that wild card position, the last wild card position in the Eastern area. So I'm excited for that. The Blue Jackets are doing much better this season than I thought that they would after last season's train wreck of a season. But so yeah, I watched a little bit of hockey, man. Basketball, I've been keeping up on it. I haven't watched. I think I've watched like one game maybe 2 games this season. I know that the Cavs did lose to the Rockets last night. They still have the best record in the NBA. So
I can tell you this much about the NBA. LeBron James is averaging less than 24 points a game. Steph Curry is averaging less than 23 points a game. Nikola, I don't even know how to say his last name, is averaging more than 30 points a game. Wembanyama is averaging less than 25 points a game. Joel Embiid is averaging less than 25 points a game. And Giannis is averaging more than 31 points a game. And I only know that because I have a free play for $500 on it.
Nice.
That is the extent of my NBA knowledge. And I don't even have to keep track of it because they do it for me.
Well, we're doing a sports show now, guys, so I'm going to need you to do your homework.
Yeah, that league just started. It's called Unrivaled, and it's 3v3. It just started on Friday. It's women's.
Didn't they try to do something like that with trampolines on the court at 3v3 with trampolines?
Yeah, I think it was something different.
Seeing something like this.
Is that the league that went after Caitlin Clark and that was going to give her like a fuck ton of money if she joined that league instead of the WNBA?
I don't know, but Caitlin Clark left the WNBA and she went to play in Europe.
Yeah, she's just playing in Europe in the off season.
Yeah, they like the live golf of fucking the WNBA.
I thought she said she wasn't going back to the WNBA.
I don't know, but if she doesn't, I don't blame her. I mean, in all honesty, there was legit felonies being against her on the court every game she played. I mean, assault and battery. Oh yeah, dude. Like they were assault and battery type shit, man. They were just physically and no fouls were being called. Like picking fights with her, starting fights with her because they're garbage. Fucking nobody likes the WNBA.
It was only that Angel Reese chick. That was the only one.
It was the entire league. Every game she played in. And I said it, and I know I ruffled some feathers when I said it, and I don't give a damn. You do a role reversal, and that's a black player, and white players are doing that to her, and it's the end of the world.
Yep.
But no, it was the whole league. Every game she played in. So I mean, you know what? If she does go to Europe for good and she leaves the WNBA, good for her. Good for her. Because you know what she did? She did something that nobody else.
Here it does say that she'll still play for Indiana.
Yeah. What she's done for the NBA that no other player has done in the existence of the WNBA is put asses in seats.
Yep, without a doubt.
No player in the history has done that. Not your Leslie Sparks or any other big name. Well, any other big name player you can think of. She put asses in seats, and there was a fan base for that league this past season that everybody was watching. And she was treated like ass by not only her teammates but other players out because of jealousy, man, jealousy and spite, and it's sad. Yeah. Because what that means for the rest of the league, if people are coming to the games and people are TV, that means, ladies, you're going to get more money at the end of the day. I think the average salary there is only like $75,000 a year.
Yeah, man. Like instead of hating on Caitlin, how about just play good ball and try to earn some new fans? You know what I mean? Like if she's bringing more people to the seats, just go out there and play ball, and other people will become fans as well. There's
hope.
There's people who just liked Jordan, and then all of a sudden later on they were like, "Well, I like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman." Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know that anybody liked Dennis Rodman. They just like to watch his freaky antics on the court.
You get what I'm saying.
you were barking up the wrong tree with the whole Dennis Rodman reference. I don't think anybody actually liked him. It was just fun to watch his antics on the court.
Well, that's all you want. It's for entertainment anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Say what you want about Dennis Rodman, his antics on and off the court. The guy could ball.
Yep.
The guy was a baller, man.
He was a rebound expert. Expert.
A monster. I mean, you got a player like, and there's a lot, and no shade on Angel Reese, she's a phenomenal player as well. But I think Caitlin Clark is one of those once in a lifetime type players that in a women's sport, that she's just a monster, man. I was watching I've always clowned the WNBA. Even myself, I found myself kind of paying more attention this past season because of Caitlin Clark. But I was watching some highlight reels, and there was the game where they were playing against. It was Iowa, LSU in college when she was playing against Angel Reese, and they were mugging her then, like getting physical and pushing her and elbowing her and everything else. And Iowa was down by so many points, and then all of a sudden, Caitlin Clark, man, she turned it on and just went in on the entire LSU team, and they couldn't stop her. And it was ridiculous. That girl is a phenomenal athlete. And some people like to judge people based off their looks. She's not your traditionally good-looking girl, but she does clean up pretty nice.
I mean, I was judged off my looks last night. You can call me Luke Combs from now on, Derek. Just so we're clear.
We need to change your name there, Luke.
You can call me Luke Combs going forward.
Let me get a feature, man. Let's do a song.
we could do a mashup together, man. I can always use backup dancers.
Yeah, man. I'm like, hey, can we get some of that? Can we get some of that money over here to help the network, Rick? Yeah, that's where Pac got started, man. He was a backup dancer.
Yeah,
oh man.
But like I said, we are starting to transition into a full-fledged sports show. So you guys gonna have to start doing some homework.
But first,
But first,
we must discuss the fact Ohio State is national championships in college football.
Congratulations to the Big Ten for having their second straight big national championship. I said Big
I'll
Ten.
take it. Hey, that's close enough. I'll take it. I put working on that field on Monday night. I will take that much from you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I went back. I told you. Okay.
Bro,
Tuesday
I was
morning.
fucking
Tuesday morning, I get a Snapchat from Rick. We won. We did it. I'm like, I didn't see your big ass out on the field. He was like, yeah, you missed me. I was all over. So I had to go back and watch the replay. And sure
I told him,
enough,
I said, I was out there zooming around so fast my ears were pinned back to my head.
I didn't know Rick was on the Buckeyes. No,
I was like, this way and that way.
In all honesty, congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Like I said, for the first time in my life ever, I said go Irish. I didn't really have a dog in that fight. I mean, I was excited for the Big Ten being there again. Obviously, I'm always going to represent the Big Ten. So I'm excited for that fact that the Big Ten has won their second straight natty. Next year will be our third straight when Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan wins it again. The SEC, they'll still be in the playoffs every year, but they're not being handed championships anymore. So they're done. You're done, correct. SEC. You're done. You're done. Nobody cares.
Take a seat over there next to the ACC and let the big boys from the Big Ten step up, and we'll run the show for a little while.
That's the crazy thing about it is, like, I feel like that's the reason, like, Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they wanted that better opportunities, and now it doesn't even matter where you play. You just play good ball, you got an opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah. You just got to win your conference, and you're in. I mean, at the end of the day.
I just realized Kurt Warner's beard officially is the same color as his hair. It wasn't like that when the season started. His beard officially blends perfectly into his hair color.
I still stand by what I asked you the other day. I live in Ohio. I work in Columbus. I'm surrounded.
Or complaining?
No, I'm complaining.
He's not bragging.
Trust me, you will never hear me brag about living in Ohio. I've actually got a calendar on the wall counting down the days until I can leave. And I get quote unquote paroled for good behavior. Huh? Yeah, I agree. Nikki from the back out. Ohio is stupid.
Yeah, but she's gonna try and get you to move to Pennsylvania, and that ain't no better.
No. We're going south. We're going back down to South Carolina. So the options are Charleston, Tampa, or Galveston.
Okay, so avoid Tampa. Tampa is just old people. There's nothing to do there.
Well, I say Tampa
because
I like Tampa.
Huh?
I like Tampa.
I say Tampa because Tampa's kind of become like a second home to me. I've got a fuck ton of friends down there.
So let me put it to you this way.
Kenny from the Fraternal Order of Bartenders, the guy that created that, just moved to Tampa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I don't want to
Florida
live
is
in
a
Florida.
great place to visit, not a great place to live.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's why
it's a party state.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's so fucking so. The girlfriend had to move back down there for her son. It is so fucking expensive to live there now. She's like, in the 2 years that I was gone to coming back now, $85,000 a year won't cover the bills for a single person.
Yeah, no, I my number one spot where I want to be at is I want to be back in Charleston. I loved it down there. It was perfect. The cost of living wasn't terrible.
And it's got a good mix of young and older people. There's stuff to do that's not all touristy. There's stuff to do that is all touristy, so you can entertain guests when they come to town.
Yeah,
Charleston is actually a really good city. Mostly for me, it's the historical value because I love the history.
That's what I love about it. And we're
the history
like
and the architecture.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's like 45 minutes from Savannah, which they call the little sister to Charleston because it's actually almost an exact replica of Charleston.
Did you say 45 minutes from Savannah to Charleston?
Like 45 minutes to an hour.
I think your numbers are skewed tremendously.
No, because
I could be wrong.
I was able
Hold on a moment. It's about 2 hours. Yeah, bro. How you gonna argue with me? I got it pulled up right here. I got it pulled up. It's about 2 hours.
I don't know. I made it there pretty quick.
Either way,
I went down there. I went down there a couple times. I had a buddy of mine whose son played baseball, and he called me one day and he was like, "Bro, I need you to do me a favor. Run over to the house. My stupid son forgot his cleats." I'm like, "Okay, where you guys at?" He's at Savannah. I was like, "Isn't that like 6 hours away, bro?" He's like, "No, man. It's just like right down the road." So it didn't feel like a 2-hour drive because I got there pretty quick. And then there was a random weekend where I was just like, I'm not. It was after me and the ex split, and I was like, I'm going to go to Savannah for the weekend.
That whole section there from about Savannah up to basically OBX, the Outer Banks, that's a really big baseball area. Huge baseball area.
Oh, yeah.
My boss went to minor league baseball through college and everything, and he went to college in South Carolina. He played ball here in Georgia, went to South Carolina, then got picked up by a team out of Chicago, and then cocaine and alcohol took hold, and he didn't play ball very well, so he went back to being a business owner.
Yeah, we used to go.
Became a little much.
She moved to Florida.
Chicago.
Yeah, we used to go to the River Dogs games all the time, the minor league baseball in Charleston, and it was always they had a nice stadium, and they had like this really cool fucking party patio where like Thursday nights they had a DJ and shit up there, and there's a dance floor, and dude, it was crazy. And for a minor league team,
I have the Rome
really
Braves
cool
about 10 minutes from me.
We have we have a really cool we have the Columbus Clippers.
Yep.
And their stadium is actually right across the street from my building where I work at.
Yeah.
I have Nationwide Arena.
I think you've showed it to me in snaps before too.
Nationwide Arena, Huntington Park, where the Blue Jackets or where the Clippers play, and then right next door to Huntington Park is lowerlevel.com arena or whatever the hell they call it, where our Major League Soccer team plays. The Columbus. They actually had the MLS. Crew. Yeah, they actually had the MLS All-Star Weekend. Was in Columbus this year because they sat up in the courtyard right in front of my buildings. It was so cool, man. Like I'm not a big soccer guy, but man, they were setting up in that Friday that I was there. They opened up all the events and stuff like that. And because I worked down there and I worked in the buildings, you could go over for free. Yeah. And there was a lot of cool things, man. Not being a soccer fan, I just kind of walked through real quick and talked to a few people. But it was really cool that they had the Major League Soccer All-Star Weekend there. The All-Star game was there. I haven't seen the arena, but I want to. I've heard it's a really cool arena that they have for the Crew. The old one, they've actually turned into a concert venue now. So the old Crew Stadium is now a concert venue. But yeah, man, we got lots of sports right here in the area. But yeah. So I would like to go here too. I love minor league baseball, man. Clippers used to be an affiliate to the Yankees. I've met Jeter and some other Yankees who came through when I was a kid, when I was younger. This is when he was young too. I was going to say
before he became an asshole.
Yeah. This is before he became huge. A bunch of other players. Now we're an Indians affiliate or Guardians. I'm sorry. We have been We have been for years. So there's a lot of.
Go ahead, finish that up before I lose the thought.
But yeah, a lot of players come through in the minor leagues before they hit the majors, and then when they're injured, because I know when I was in Charleston, what's his name for the Yankees, when he was coming back for an injury, he actually was playing on the River Dogs team. I can't remember who it was, but that was really cool because he actually turned out to be a pretty nice guy. You hear bad stories about him, but he actually turned out to be a nice guy. But anyways, what's your thought,
do you think if the Washington Commanders turn back into the Washington Redskins, that it will spark a precedent and teams will change back to what they were?
Yes.
You will get the Cleveland Indians back versus the Cleveland Guardians. Do you think that'll be the case? Because I know they're heavy in that conversation of the Guardian or the Commanders going back to being the Redskins. So, I'm currently watching all the clips and shit. They're talking about draft day and stuff like that for the Eagles and the Commanders because they made some big big trades on draft day. So Ohio State managed to pull it off and absolutely dominate ass over the Notre Dame Falling Irish, or Failing Irish, whatever you want to call them today.
I gotta give props to Ohio State for their playoff run.
They went on a terror.
Dominant.
They went on a terror after that loss for the Big Ten,
Mm-hmm.
or after that loss to Michigan. And once that loss happened, they were like, if we don't win out, Ryan Day's losing his job.
Ryan Day's a fucking moron.
And we're going to be irrelevant for 2 seasons. So they just went out and they played ridiculous football.
Yeah.
Like, dominantly ridiculous football. Although I will say, they were this close to imploding in the second half of that Notre Dame game. They were this close to absolutely self-destructing and losing that game. And that would have been absolutely atrocious. Like, that would have been the end of Ryan Day's coaching career at Ohio State. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you know, like I said, shout out to Ohio State, man. Nice win. Congrats on the natty and everything like that. I talked a lot of shit. That's what I do. I talk shit, guys. That's what I do, people. It's a sports show. You want somebody that's going to talk shit. You want somebody that's going to be crazy. I talk shit, but congratulations. And I'm excited for the Big Ten. That's again, I say. But however, Ryan Day's a fucking moron.
Well, he's definitely not one of our best head coaches we've ever had.
And quote, after they won the national championship, this year's national championship team could beat last year's national championship team. Hey, stupid, you ain't beat that team in 4 fucking years. And this year's natty national championship team, they lost to the worst Michigan team I've seen in a decade.
Yeah. Like, you barked the wrong shit out right there. Like, you're an idiot for that one. I'll even say he's an idiot.
So now what you've done, and Michigan is going to be 180 better than what they were this year. That defense should speak volumes. What we had this year, and all those guys are coming back and more. That defense should speak volumes of how scary, nasty they can be with an offense. And they're stacking their offense this offseason. And Michigan's coming back to form. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with again in the Big Ten. I think we're going to see another 6 or 7 teams from the Big Ten in the playoffs this year coming up.
Yep.
Indiana looks good. I don't think that was a fluke from Indiana. I think they've got a really good head coach in Indiana. Penn State is always usually pretty good team
in the mix.
Oregon. We know Oregon is going to do what Oregon has always done. They're always a good team.
Oregon's been a top 10 team for the last 10 years.
Yeah, Ohio State is always good. Illinois, was this year a fluke for Illinois, or are we going to get shocked in the Illini? Are they actually building a fucking team out there and nobody expected it?
Wouldn't that be something if the fucking Fighting Illini decided they were suddenly wanted to show up and play in the Big Ten for a little while?
Yeah, so I mean, the Big Ten is not. And we have UCS or USC now.
Yep.
They're typically a good team.
And you have to think about this. You have 3 teams in the upper Midwest that are due to have their turnaround time between Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Those 3 teams notoriously roll through changes about every 10 years. And then all of a sudden, Iowa is producing some of the top defensive players in the NFL draft. I mean, I'm wearing one right now. AJ Epinesa, Iowa boy. Yeah. Like, those schools up there produce your star defensive players in the NFL religiously.
So I mean, get ready for the Big Ten. We're much like Michigan did in Ohio. We're planting our flag. We are staking our claim as being the best conference in college football, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for college football. I said it all season long. I said it last year when it was announced. And I know they're going to tweak it, and I know they're going to, make some changes and whatnot, but I love this playoff system in college football, an actual playoff system where the committee is almost completely out of the equation. It's based off your records. It's based off of winning a conference. We joked about SMU early in the season, and We didn't even realize they were in the ACC, and we're making. And I jumped on the SMU bandwagon at the beginning of the season, and they got smoked in the playoffs, but they were there, baby. They had the chance. They had the chance, man. SMU, let's go. I still don't know where they're from. I don't know what their mascot is, but let's go SMU. I don't know.
They're the Mustangs.
They're the Mustangs. Southern Mexico, South Maryland. I don't know where they're from, but let's go SMU.
They're the Mustangs. They're the SMU Mustangs.
Yeah, I don't know where they're from, but anyways, I think the playoff system is going to, not that college football has never not been exciting, but I think it's going to get better, and it's going to be better, and it's going to be funner to watch, and I'm excited for it at the end of the day.
They're the Southern Methodist University out of Dallas, Texas.
Southern Meth. That's all I heard. Let's go, meth heads. Woohoo!
That's fucking great.
But no, I think the cool thing about it is we're going to see teams like Boise and Hawaii that even if they have that one fluke season where they're good, we're going to get to see these teams that we've always wanted to see make a national championship or the 14 playoff and be given a chance, because as we learned from Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino, any given Sunday, any given Saturday.
So just so you know, a little bit of backstory about your SMU Mustangs. So the next time you want to hype them up, and somebody's like, you don't know nothing about them, you can tell them, well, I know that Laura Bush graduated from there, and Rick Scott graduated from there, and Kourtney Kardashian graduated from there, and so did Brian Baumgartner, and Kathy Bates and Aaron Spelling. Those are all SMU alum.
Wow, that's some heavy hitters.
Bryson DeChambeau, he's SMU alum.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Next time somebody's like, you don't know shit about them, be like, I know Kathy Bates went there, bitch. She was in the water, boy.
Yeah. Kathy Bates is a phenomenal actress too.
She's doing the new Matlock, isn't she?
Yeah. She's doing the new.
I think she said that's the last one she's gonna do before she retires out.
Oh wow! And she was in like almost every season of American Horror Story.
Well, she did Psycho, didn't she?
Misery.
I thought she did an old horror movie. I thought it was.
I don't think she was in Psycho, but she did Misery. That was a Stephen King thriller horror movie where she kidnapped the writer and like had him chained to the bed and broke his ankles and shit.
Yeah. It's just. Yeah, she's a graduate. Aaron Spelling, who we all have heard that name before. If for no other reason than the fact you watch D2 The Mighty Ducks, when he talks about his uncle Aaron Spelling, I think Uncle Aaron would be rather upset. Oh, I'm sorry. Please don't tell Mr. Spelling as they get in and they're drinking orange juice. If you've never seen D2 The Mighty Ducks, climb out from underneath your rock and watch that.
No, man, there's a lot going on in the sports world. I'm excited that we're going to go on to a full-fledged sports show and talk all sports. I'm an expert by no means, but I enjoy talking sports. So we'll be around to talk some stuff while football is taking a little. And we'll have off-season news as well.
I was going to say it's not just that there's not going to be as many games. We still have a whole coaching roundtable to go through. We've got trades, we've got drafts, we've got all that news out of the coaching roundtable. Speaking of which, OC Joe Brady for the Buffalo Bills has opted out of a second interview with New Orleans and said he is remaining as the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator.
Nice. Two things I want to ask you guys. Speaking of the coaching roundtable, this coaches circulation. First thing, right off the rip, Pete Carroll to Vegas.
Did he go? Is that where he went? He got hired?
Yeah, he got hired. That was one of Tom Brady's
I'm not mad.
Of the Raiders. And that was, I guess, a Tom Brady decision to bring Carroll to Vegas. What you think on that, Derek?
I don't know. I just heard it.
Yeah, that's
just I'm like, I need to look it up. I need to look into it. I don't even remember.
I'm not mad. I like Pete Carroll as a coach.
I don't remember. I don't even remember who the quarterback is for the Raiders right now.
I don't think anybody knows who the quarterback is because I think
no.
I don't know who. I don't know who plays on the Raiders right now.
Isn't AOC Aiden O'Connell?
dude, they were playing quarterback roulette this year.
Yeah, they were kind of fucked up with a quarterback.
Let me see if
I mean they've been kind of like that period since they've been to Vegas.
Well, I will say that they do have, in my opinion, probably, and I know that it doesn't typically go to this player, but a rookie of the year without a doubt, outside of take Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix out of the equation, is Brock Bowers, tight end, who had an absolute monster season. Yep. They got Aiden O'Connell, Desmond Ridder, and they had Minshew out there at the beginning of the season. He's not listed on their roster anymore.
Yeah, plus, I mean, he's not. We've seen how that story plays out multiple times.
Yeah, I think maybe next year, and I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Carroll. I think he's a bit of a scumbag. Especially the way he did USC when they started getting into their legal issues.
He's not a bad coach, though.
He dipped, but no, he's a phenomenal coach. I think he did relatively pretty well in Seattle, outside of the stupid Super Bowl where you have arguably one of the best running backs in the league, and you're on the 1 yard line, and you decide to throw the ball and you lose to the Patriots because
you're right. That was a fucking retarded move.
Yeah. But I think within 2 seasons, we'll probably see a little bit of a turnaround with the Raiders, with Pete Carroll running the show.
That's what I was going to say. They're going to have to give him a couple of seasons for sure.
Yeah. And I think I don't know how long his contract is, but within, if he's there for at least 5 years, in that 5-year span, I think that they'll become a playoff team. Now, granted, I mean, they do play in a pretty tough, in the AFC West, which is, I mean, pretty tough with Kansas, LA, and Denver.
Yeah. Those are 3 teams that all hit the playoffs this year. That's a hell of a fucking division.
I can see within 5 years.
Does the coach's salary count against the cap?
No.
That's
why did they pay him did they pay him retard money?
I don't know what they gave him.
No, that's why I was asking though, because they gave Chucky all that money and then they're still paying him, right? Or did they get out of paying him because of what happened?
I think they might have got out of paying him because of what happened.
Years, $100 million. Yeah, I wonder.
Okay, here we go. Pete Carroll has a Raiders agree to reported 3-year contract as new head coach. So I definitely see a turnaround by year 2, maybe year 3. They might give him a contract extension. The Raiders offer Carroll opportunity to rebound their 14-year tenure, and he will lead what is likely to be a rebuilding effort with the team. And they've got $94 million in cap space, and they got
a lot of room to work with.
They don't say how much Pete Carroll. It doesn't say how much he's getting paid.
Maybe they could buy out the rest of Deshaun Watson's contract for you guys.
I'm telling you. I think if Cleveland has an argument to get out of that contract with his dumbass making little ticky talks, dancing around without his boot on, and then re-injuring himself.
They settled. It says Raiders owner Mark Davis later said the team reached a settlement with Gruden over the final years of his contract. Even then, he was there 4 years. They'd already given him $40 million, I guess.
Yeah.
He got a good payday.
Yeah, right. Also in
Chiefs are 7-0 with 12 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions since Chiefs week loss 11 to the Bills. The Bills are putting up 12 passing touchdowns in 3 games. Who the fuck are you selling that statistic to? The Chiefs are one of the lowest scoring offenses in the league.
Yeah, they're garbage. They're a garbage team.
Y'all remember what happened with Gruden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think he's doing right now?
Laughing, collecting a check and laughing.
I'm saying, like, you know, yeah, of course he's paid. He don't have to do anything. But I mean, the way he got fired though was pretty embarrassing. You know?
Yeah, with his little emails and shit like that.
Yeah,
whatever it was, I didn't see it. They said it's saying racist stuff, so you know what I mean. Obviously, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But,
I think he called
John. It said
he called somebody a Dunlop.
He's an advisor. He's an advisor for the Milano Seamen of the European League of Football.
I
wasn't sure. I started laughing. I thought, am I being
I'm
rude,
surprised you were able to
really
straight face that statement.
Milano Seaman.
Milano Seamen.
Oh, I don't think I'll ever look at a cookie the same.
What you eating there? Oh, you know, a little Milano Seaman.
Just a cookie. It's just a cookie.
It's just a cookie.
What did you say he was getting paid? I know y'all probably moved on past that, but with the Raiders.
Oh, I don't know. It didn't say how much he's getting paid.
I can't remember his damn name now.
Let's see. How much is Pete Carroll making in his deal with Vegas?
Pete Carroll.
3-year deal.
Raiders reportedly agreed to 3-year contract.
Yeah, it doesn't say the details of his his deal. Damn, he's 73. Holy shit.
With an option for a 4th year. It doesn't say the numbers yet.
So
yeah,
now that I just learned that Pete Carroll went to the Raiders, should we talk about Brian Schottenheimer as the new Cowboys head coach?
when
I didn't know that either.
When the real man of genius in the NFL, Jerry Jones, makes fucking utterly idiotic decisions.
Old Deion Sanders, his butt hurt. He didn't get the head coaching job in Dallas.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Do you know how many people are saying that it's because Jerry Jones is racist?
Damn.
I mean,
what?
Oh yeah. You're gonna tell me in that argument, you're gonna tell me Deion Sanders was more qualified than a multitude of the coaches that are circling looking for a job right now.
Yeah.
And because he didn't get picked, because he's done what?
Yeah.
1 year in college as a coach?
He's done 4. I think he's done 4 years in college.
Jerry Jones got an ego.
Yes, and he can't have
I just
somebody
think
with
it's
a
the
bigger
man
ego.
thing. Exactly. He don't want Dion there taking
It's
all the
a dick
light.
measuring
You know, everybody
contest.
talking about Dion, not him. Yeah.
Yep, it's a dick measuring contest.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. And
100% what it boils down to.
I do not. I just
Teddy Mahomes will 3-peat. Big shot at.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the help of all his stepdaddies in black and white.
Yeah, you're drinking the Kool-Aid right there, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry Jones is an idiot, first and foremost. The Dallas Cowboys, nobody cares about Dallas Cowboys, let's be honest.
Well, Dallas Cowboys fans care about the Dallas Cowboys.
But nobody cares about Dallas Cowboys fans either.
But they're fucking everywhere, dude. They're like goddamn mosquitoes. They are literally all over the place.
They're like
That's just because they used to be America's team, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They were never America's team. They were always just Dallas's team.
They were labeled as America's. You know that when the NFL was doing that, trying to name America's team, you know who they went to first? They went to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Makes more sense than Dallas.
Yeah, God, I can't think of the owners of the Steelers.
They said no either way.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, no, we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't need that moniker. We're we know where we stand as with a fan base. We don't need that moniker. We're going to go ahead and pass. But I think quote unquote America's team. I think they should treat that like a presidential thing and let the fans vote on it every couple of years.
Every year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Let's do it every
year, every 2 years, something like that. Be like, all right, let's take a fan poll and see who America's team is.
And you know what? Let's do it a little bit further. Whoever gets voted as America's team hosts the Pro Bowl that year.
That'd be cool. Oh, that'd be so
That'd be cool.
Right? Because then you'd have the chance. Well, but you also have to ban the Swifties from casting their vote because they literally changed the entire demographic of the NFL.
Coming for your job, Goodell.
Yeah,
fuck
Roger
Goodell, you wasted fucking human flesh.
I think the only downside with the America's team hosting the Pro Bowl is that players wouldn't be nearly as excited because the Pro Bowl's always in Hawaii.
Well, not anymore. It's in Orlando now.
Is it in Orlando this year?
Yeah.
They quit doing it
Tickets,
in Hawaii like a couple years back.
Tickets were only $29. I could have gone to it. It's like 20
moved
minutes
it
from
to
Susan's
Orlando
house.
a few years
Yeah.
back.
But that would be cool. Is anybody even watching the Pro Bowl anymore now that it's flag football?
The skills competitions are cool. The skills competitions are cool. They made that like God, what was that old show they used to do where they had all the weird little skills competitions? It's almost kind of like American Gladiators for skills.
I was going to say American Gladiators, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I watch.
They ought to have them play American Gladiators.
That's funny.
No, ever since it switched to a flag game, man, I don't care about the game anymore. I used to love watching because even when it was an actual game, it's not like the guys were going 100 miles an hour. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to hurt each other, but they were still playing contact football. You know what I mean? And when they made that switch over to flag, I'm like, this is fucking lame. At least they still have I love the skill competitions. I think those are super cool. I watch those during the NBA All-Star break, the Major League Baseball All-Star break.
Watch it during the combine too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would be a cool concept, man. You vote every year and the winner hosts the Pro Bowl or even somehow get the draft involved in there, because when you take even when Cleveland hosted the NFL draft a couple years back, and I wanted to go so bad, but a buddy of mine, him and his sons went, and it was funny because you sent me a picture and he's got one son who's a Browns fan, one son who's a Bengals fan, another son who's like a Panthers fan. He's a 49ers fan, and they're all out there. Their gear. They went to all the events and everything like that. That's something I would like to attend is draft weekend one year because that looks like it'd be fun as hell as well.
So, but, here's an idea. Why don't we move the Pro Bowl to say March or April? Okay, and
circle it around.
Include the draft in it. This way, those that are picked that still have playoff games left or Super Bowl left can actually play.
That would be cool too. If you made you would have to almost make it like a week-long event.
Well, I was going to say CMA Music Fest in June in Nashville is a week-long event. And Derek knows this. It is like a Wednesday to Monday kind of deal. The Pro Bowl and the draft combine it all into one big thing. You have a stadium in Orlando that they're doing it in. Make it a bucket thing. Have all sorts of activity. Dude, it's nothing but a money maker for the NFL to put the Pro Bowl and the draft all in one, and then you do it in like March or April, whenever the draft would be, because then you allow the teams I can't say Buffalo because they literally had nobody.
Yeah.
Which is hysterically funny. But you allow the teams that have players that are still going to the Super Bowl that are going to have to opt out anyways. I think it would make more sense to do that. And then, like you said, make it like a week-long thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be man. You want to talk about an event that would just
if you make it a week long, put the combine there too. Start the week with the combine.
Yeah, you want to talk about massive money coming to a city.
Oh my God, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be.
But it would be so cool, and with the Pro Bowl being so affordable, say, okay, so the price goes from, because tickets are as low as $29 for this year's Pro Bowl in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
So you up it to $59. You combine all that in there, and then if you want a ticket to the draft party, that's an add-on that you can get.
Yeah.
And then, you've got all that stuff in one, that's like especially a kid dreaming of being a football player, bro, that'd be like a dream come true for a kid.
Oh yeah. See all that stuff all in one.
And
setting.
Get to see the players that are doing the combine and possibly meet and greet and talk with players who potentially could be your next Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. That would be so cool for those kids.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that too. When the cool part would be about those guys going ahead and meeting them. But you know what? I think the problem is, which I guess this could happen anyway, and I'm not leaning either side, but I mean, I don't know, like, if it's a problem either, but what about those players that they meet and they're trying to, like, convince them to come to their team? Would that be a thing or no?
I don't think that would be a problem because, teams are already, teams are already reaching out to players that are coming into the draft. Because I know Sanders, like they had an article the other day that Sanders has already talked to Cleveland, Buffalo, New York, I think. The Giants.
And because of that, I just saw an article. He may not throw at the combine.
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is my next thing was, okay, but what about these kids? They come out there and they do the little skills challenges and they suck, but they're really good. Now the team's looking at them and they probably wasn't even trying; they were just having fun.
Yeah.
But now the GM's going, yeah, we might not want that kid. We want to draft this other guy.
Yeah, right.
It gives you.
But it'll still be fun, though. I still think it's a good idea.
And
it would definitely be
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it would definitely be a fun event, and especially for the kids, because like I said, my son, he's 11, and this season, last season he was watching football and paying a little bit of attention. This year he's like, he's in, man. We were back here talking about the playoffs ever since the playoffs started. Not last week and the weekend before, he was sick and he was laying back here in the bedroom while we were doing the show. And then when I got up, I asked him if he wanted to come out to the living room, and he's like, I'm just gonna lay here and watch the game. And he laid back here and watched I think the Philadelphia game or something, whatever the early game was. And he kept coming out and just giving me updates, and I'm like, I got it on out here, bro. You can watch it with me. But he's on board, and I think that'd be something cool to take him to, like, just take a week off work, man, and go, and you get the combine, you get the Pro Bowl experience, and you get the draft experience.
So here's another thing to add to it. Now you've also got the biggest names of these teams interacting with these college kids at the combine, which allows you to see if they're going to jive together, because teams like the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, or even probably the Bills with Allen, the Chiefs with Mahomes, those players have an impact on who the GM picks in the draft. You know that, because if that quarterback says, I don't like that receiver, I don't like the way he carries himself off the field, I don't like the way he treats people who pay attention to him, they're not going to draft that guy. So now you have a chance to get your top tier players intermingling with these college kids to see what ones do jive together, because you need that camaraderie and that you need that companionship and everything right there between those players. They have to be able to mesh for it to be successful.
Yeah, you gotta see if you have that cohesion.
Yes, that's the word I wanted.
Yep. You need to update your background. No, I don't. It's playoffs. You know how much work's involved in, and why don't you update it for me? Why? You know how much work's involved in getting an updated bracket? It's just a playoffs.
You just like disappeared. You're like, where did he's like Wilson from Home Improvement?
I was like, hey, look,
it's Wilson from Home Improvement. Just put your eyes up. Hey, Wilson, got a question about today's football games.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a little bit disappointed that part of me is kind of disappointed we don't have our lawyer present today, but nonetheless, I like it. I like the casual. I like the
Not gonna
casual
lie,
Sunday look.
I was a sinner today. I skipped church.
It's okay though, because you had to pray to the football gods for the Bills to beat the Chiefs.
That's right. Man.
I told Wyatt that him and his sister need to hold hands and pray to whatever football gods there are that the Chiefs lose today. But so here's the neat fact about today's game with the Chiefs and Bills, because we are a sports podcast, so let's keep it sports too. The officiating crew for the Buffalo Bills Kansas City Chiefs game today is led by none other than Cleet Blakeman, who, if you pay attention, the Chiefs are only 6-5 when Cleet is officiating their games. He is notoriously known as one of the more fair officials when he is officiating a Kansas City Chiefs game. So that is big help.
I seen somebody did a TikTok video and they imposed Josh Allen's head on Adam Sandler's head from The Longest Yard, and he said the Buffalo Bills playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was
that when he hit him in the nuts with the football? You're gonna call the fair game now, right?
Yeah, I was fucking dying. I almost sent it to you. I was like, God. And then I
saw it
like,
too. I love the ones where they AI Chris Collinsworth's voice. Oh, the almighty Mahomo. The almighty Mahomo.
Oh,
Don't touch my boyfriend.
Daddy Mahomes. Don't touch. Yeah, those are fucking hilarious.
The almighty Mahomo. The almighty Mahomo's doing his zesty drop back. That shit cracks me up.
I seen one too. I wish I could show it on here.
So funny.
Oh. I wonder if I could send it to you.
There was a player for the Eagles in 1935 and 36 named Eggs Mansky. He was a receiver. So they're doing weird names. And one of them was John Goodyear.
All right. I just sent you that one on Messenger, Glick.
Okay.
Is it a Mahomo clip?
It's not a clip. It was just, he'll see it.
The almighty Mahomo drops back in his zesty dance.
Like, I can just hear it now, Jim Nance. Yeah. It's like, and it's intercepted by Hamlin. For the first time in 31 years, the Buffalo Bills are heading back to the Super Bowl. And then it says, oh, Jim, we got a late flag here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly.
It's a fact.
Exactly. I just got
a damn fact.
Yeah. One real quick here. Speaking of the coaches, the coaches, a little craziness going on here. Did you guys hear about the Jaguars hire?
I heard they hired somebody, but I don't remember who it was.
They hired off the Buccaneers offensive coordinator Liam Cohen to be their new head coach. But here's the thing. There was some like shady, underhanded type shit going on there, because Liam told the Bucs, like, I'm your guy, I'm not going anywhere, blah blah blah, and then went MIA for a couple of days. Wasn't returning phone calls, wasn't answering emails, wasn't answering text messages, and then it popped up. I think it came up Thursday or Friday, after a couple days of no contact with the Buccaneers. He sent them an email saying that he had taken the job with Jacksonville. Mind you, he'd already told Jacksonville that he wasn't going to take the offer. You know, he had unaligned himself with Jacksonville, told them he wasn't going to take the offer, told Tampa he wasn't going to take the offer. He was staying in Tampa, and then went ghost mode. And then the next thing they hear from Liam in Tampa is, I have taken the head coaching job in Jacksonville.
I mean, it is what it is. The coaching carousel is always going to be full of some shady shit.
Yeah, I think.
But it goes the same for these owners and the way they fire these coaches. Look what they did to Mike Vrabel. He went to be inducted into the Ring of Honor in New England, and because he did that, Tennessee fired him, and he was a winning coach.
Yeah.
Like, the shady shit goes from the owners all the way to the coaching. Man, fuck those two. That's like worrying about two rich people arguing over an extra decimal or a decimal point misplacement in their bank accounts.
I'm tightening up. You know what I mean? Unless, you know how it is when we're making picks and I'm tightened down, when I know we're going to lose. But I hope that he beats the brakes off us this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Mike Vrabel, I think, is a phenomenal hire for the New England Patriots. I think he is an absolutely phenomenal hire. He's got the history there. He's got the respect there. I truly think that he is going to bring New England back to where they are competitive with Buffalo on a regular basis. And it actually makes me a little bit nervous because he very likely, and he's also still really good friends with Bill Belichick. So he very likely could be the next Bill Belichick in New England. And that makes me super nervous because he's young, so he can do it for a long fucking time.
Speaking of Belichick, I seen an article the other day with this coaching carousel and all the hires that are potentially out there and new hires and teams looking for coaches. Apparently his deal with North Carolina is not 100% locked in yet.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he'll come back to the NFL. I really don't.
I want to see what he does in college.
I think he'll take I would like to see him take a college team that is not like Alabama or anything like that and make them a respected team in college football.
North Carolina is not really a football. I mean, they're known for basketball. They've had some good football teams. Don't get me wrong, but even in recent years, they've had decent football teams.
But they've had bowl game teams, but not a reputable bowl game.
Does a Belichick factor make North Carolina in a couple seasons a playoff contender in college football?
If it does, it will simply be due to commitments for the name.
Because don't forget, North Carolina, I believe, is ACC.
They are ACC, so they have schools like Clemson, Syracuse, FSU, SMU's over there. Yep. They have those schools over there.
Duke, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Boston College. I mean, you've got.
There are some good schools over there.
Florida State, fucking Florida State.
Except for Florida State. They are not a good school.
Talk about the biggest bust in 2024.
Fucking Jim football. Norvell, man. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, Norvell? Like, you literally went from, we deserve to be in the playoffs. To, bro, what happened to your team? What are you doing?
So let's get into a little bit of today. What's happening today? We got the conference championships, AFC, NFC. I will say last week was not a good week
for anybody.
Derek, you were 2-2 on your picks. You had your lone wolf with the Eagles, and you had the Chiefs beating the Texans. Rick, you were 1-3. You had your lone wolf with the Bills last week. I was 0-4 on my picks last week.
Oh, you didn't even get one right.
I ate absolute dog shit, which puts us in the playoffs with I am 4-6 overall playoff picks. Derek is 6-4, and Rick is 5-5. Rick is a dead even.
500 team. I'm a Cleveland Browns in the playoffs right now. Not a good year.
However, lone wolf status, I am 1-1, and you guys are both 1-0. Lone wolf statuses. So last week I ate absolute dog shit. And I will say this, man. Speaking of the games last week, we talked about the Texans-Chiefs game last Sunday. We talked about the Lions-Commanders game last Sunday. But I will say, I think the Eagles benefited from shitty weather against the Rams. Because the Rams could not play in that snow.
But the Eagles don't normally play in that snow either. So that was the Eagles are not known for snow games.
Barkley has though.
Yeah, Barkley has played, and I mean, and in all honesty, they benefited from the snow and the weather, but they still got lucky because the Rams were not out of that game by no means. Man, they started clicking in the fourth quarter, and I was like,
funny enough, Cooper Kupp is currently on game day morning right now.
Yeah. So I think that they definitely benefited due to the weather. But they pulled it out, man. The Eagles, I think had it not been a snow factor, I think the Rams would have definitely gone out there and had their way with the Eagles, because I mean they still put up a hell of a fight. And then man, the unthinkable happened. Something does not never happen. I don't know if that's proper English.
Nice double negative right there, bud.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully there's no teachers in the chat.
Yeah. I'm gonna get crucified for just annihilating the English. Hey, I do it on a daily basis. Words are hard. Hashtag words are hard, ladies and gentlemen. Man, in a million years, I would have put $1 million on Mark Andrews to save the day.
God.
The Bills put 100,000 to his charity afterwards.
He literally lost the game, basically.
Yeah.
He didn't, because it would have only tied. At that point, it would have only tied.
The first time that he fumbled the ball, you know what I mean? They were working their way down the field. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
there was a lot in that game.
There was two key plays that I think turned that game around, and they both fell on Mark Andrews. He had the drop pass for the 2-point conversion to tie the game, which he never drops passes. That's Lamar's safety net, man. He's been Lamar's safety net. Yeah, and then he fumbled the ball, man. Like, I'm not saying Buffalo was going to lose the game, but holy shit. I mean, those are Those are game-changing plays right there that you don't see. Those are not mistakes that Mark Andrews makes. Andrews makes. And it was just like, holy smokes, what the hell is happening?
At the end of the day, you cannot solely blame Mark Andrews for that loss. There was a lot of things. There was a lot of things for the Ravens that didn't click. Okay. How about the Bills kept Derrick Henry under 100 yards? And in the first game, he went for almost 200 yards.
Yeah.
So that right there was a huge, huge deciding factor in that game, was containing King Henry.
No, yeah, no, I'm talking specifically. That's why
you have people like Andrews.
Yeah,
and you lean on him.
Specific game-changing moments, and that fumble and that drop pass are game changers. Not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that Baltimore would have won or anything like that. I think it was a good game. I think we got exactly what we expected from that game, from those two teams.
But those were the two plays that were going to keep them in the game.
And that's why
when he fumbled that ball, it was like, oh my God. And then, not that I wanted them to win, but I'm just saying, if you're going, you know what I mean? Anytime I'm watching games like this in the playoffs, I'm going for both teams. You know what I mean? I just want to see good football, and I want to see people catch, you know what I mean? Good things happening. And, yeah, as soon as it happened that first time, and then when he dropped the ball in the end zone, that's the first thing I texted my homeboy Swift. I was like, man, of all people, of all people, you know what I'm saying? Andrews would be the one.
Weird.
But it should have never boiled down to that. The Ravens should have had themselves in a position, and this goes the same for every team out there. If your game comes down to one or two plays going differently, you were barely in that game to begin with. The fact that they had 3 turnovers, that's unacceptable. Yeah. You're hard to win a game when you're turning the ball over to the other team on a regular basis. You know, 3 turnovers changes the entire dynamic of a game.
But to have those 3 turnovers and still be in the game and only lose by 2 points at the end of the day, I mean, again, you know,
that's what I was going to say. That's the whole point, is you are still in the game, and at the end of the day, those things already happened, and now we're at the end. We need you to make plays, and Mark Andrews is a go-to guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's been Lamar's safety net for years. And that's why Andrews is when you talk top tight ends in the league, that's why Andrews is right up there, because he has been that safety net for Lamar Jackson for so long. And in all honesty, he was kind of quiet this season. And I think that boils down to the fact that Lamar was playing much better
Wasn't he hurt
football
for a
was-
little while
And
too, though?
Derrick Henry being there.
Yeah, I think he missed a couple weeks, maybe if that. But yeah, Derrick Henry was there, but Lamar was playing better football. He was passing more, I think, than he normally does. He wasn't running as much as he normally does.
Yeah.
And that's where he would get into a lot of trouble. And Mark Andrews was always there to bail him out because Lamar would start running around in the backfield doing his little dancey dance, and teams would close in on him, and who was right there, to make a play for him was Mark Andrews. So it was a good game nonetheless. I wish the bracket would have worked out to where the AFC Championship game that we were seeing were Buffalo and Baltimore, as opposed
that
to
would have been pretty good, as opposed to Buffalo and Kansas City again.
Yeah.
However, with that said, I am glad that Buffalo is in the AFC Championship against Kansas City because they truly need to get this fucking monkey off their back against Kansas City in the playoffs. We can beat them. We can beat them 20 years in a row in regular season. But if we lose to them 20 years in a row in the playoffs, we're still stuck with that fucking monkey on our back.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of are. Is Josh is, I think he's, is he 7-0 against them in regular season, but 0-4 against them in the playoffs? I think I saw some sort of stat like that.
Let's
7-6-1, maybe. I'm not sure. But like you look at this, and on paper, if you take the refs completely out of the equation, and that's a big if when it comes to Kansas City.
So Josh Allen is 4-1 against 4-1 against the Kansas City Chiefs
in regular season.
In regular season,
and
he's 0-3 in the playoffs.
They need this monkey off their back. And we've beat them at home and in Arrowhead. Like, we've beat them at both places in regular season. So it's not like we can't go into Arrowhead and win a game. By the way, the state of Kansas City or the state of Missouri has enforced if you now have to produce a Kansas City driver's license to buy a folding table this weekend in Missouri because the Bills Mafia came into town so heavy to buy tables.
Nice.
So, but if you take the refs out of the equation, hands down, Buffalo should dominate this game. On paper, through the season, looking at every game this season, Buffalo is by far a better team than the three-win Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo has, I think Kansas City's had, what was it? What was the stat that I saw? 2 games where they scored more than 30 points, and Buffalo only had 3 games where they didn't score at least 30 points. So, you look at the regular season and even into the playoffs right now, and look at the teams, Buffalo hands down is a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs going into this game, without a doubt.
100%.
And they should roll into Arrowhead and should annihilate the Chiefs. And if they blow them clean out, like 42-7 in the fourth quarter, I hope Josh doesn't come out and sit that fucking game. I hope he stays out there and just keeps his foot on their throat and rubs it the fuck into Kansas City, because nobody ever does that.
You're forgetting one thing: the refs.
That's if you take the refs out of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, and that's honestly, that's what you have to do, because when they played in the regular season, Buffalo jumped out to, Buffalo jumped out to a 16-point lead early. And then the Chiefs came back to get within 2, and then they went up by 14. And then they were, Kansas was able to, bring it within 9 points. But you got it. That's what teams have to do. They have to jump on Kansas fast and early, and then they have to stay on top. That's what Baltimore did against them. Or I'm sorry, no, hold on.
And just stay away from Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, stay away from him 100%.
Don't even breathe in his direction.
Because we dropped this stat last a couple times about their records, and obviously they had everybody benched when Denver just came out and embarrassed them 38-0. But they had everybody benched. But that's what Buffalo.
I'm trying to figure something out here. I'm intrigued to know who was the official for the Bills-Chiefs game earlier this season.
Yeah.
I know we've got Clete Blakeman today, but who was the official earlier?
Oh no. But
The biggest game of the week is
I just want to see as fair a football game, and I understand the refs make mistakes. I'm not looking for them to be perfect. I just don't want no bullshit going on with the Patrick Mahomes situation. And then I think after this season, with all this going on, I think that they need to address the rules about if you want to protect a quarterback, well, then the quarterback needs to quit running the damn ball.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said they're adding the quarterback slide to the instant replay review next year.
Well, I just is kind of a smart ass thing to say, but I truly believe this, and I've said it for a couple years now. We're not too far away from quarterbacks either being two-hand touch or flag football, where you can't even tackle a quarterback at the end of the day.
Yeah, we got to quit that.
I
don't like it either because I don't see it happening. You know what I mean, with any running quarterbacks. Personally, except for Patrick Mahomes.
Nope. Jared Goff had a blatant miss roughing the passer call. Blatant.
Yeah. Well, not only that, what annoys me is, too, is this not even this season. This is like the previous 2 seasons as well. As Mahomes running around and he's running, and then you already don't want to get a flag, but you got to tackle him. And then he does one of these, like and then he leans over this way and runs again. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you can't do that. You can't pretend that you're giving up and then keep running the ball. That's like me pretending to do a fair catch and then going, oh, no, just kidding, and then taking off and running the ball.
Well, that or he does that stupid shit where he starts to, like, slide or whatever, but then he does that weird sideways pass.
Yes.
Because defenders come up off of him. No, I'm sorry. I agree with you 100%, man. Once you start running the ball, you're a runner. If you get fucking smoked, you get fucking smoked, bro.
The line of scrimmage, especially past the line of scrimmage. Like behind the line of scrimmage, I can understand a little bit. You know what I mean? But especially once you're past it, like, come on, man.
So earlier this season, the officiating crew for the first Buffalo-Kansas City game in Buffalo this year was Tom Stephen, Paul King, Brad Freeman, Jabir Walker, Land Clark, Dominique Pender, and Jeff Hutchin. So we'll see how this Clete Blakeman thing goes for Buffalo in this game.
And then I got an idea. They want to protect the QB. All right, as soon as he pretends like he's going down, they should blow the whistle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So he can't be faking nobody out, running around, getting extra yards, throwing it. No, as soon as you go like you're giving yourself up, there is no throwing the ball. There is no nothing else. Whistle blown. That's the end of the play. You gave up. Ball's down right there. Because it's just, I don't know, man. It's just it just seems a little cheap to me. A little cheapskate ways, you know what I mean, to be getting around the rules of the game. And
so here's some fun stats on today's game. Buffalo is 10-0 at home, and Kansas City is 9-0 at home. They're both undefeated at home this season. But Blakeman's games, the lowest home team winning percentage in 2024 at 31.3% with a 5-11 record. Blakeman called penalties at a higher rate against the home team at 53.2%.
Is he in the game today?
He is the head official for the game. He is the most experienced referee team in the NFL for postseason with 16 postseason calls.
And this game's in Kansas?
It's in Kansas City, yep. So Clete Blakeman will lead the crew for the conference title game between the Bills and Kansas City. The league announced Sunday Arrowhead. He's considered one of the top officials in the NFL. His assignment comes a week after officials were criticized for controversial penalties that aided Kansas City's 23-14 divisional round victory over the Texans. And of course, Mahomes said on Wednesday he doesn't believe the Chiefs received favorable calls from the referees. But what quarterback that calls are going his way is going to say, yeah, that official fucked up. That shouldn't have gone against them. It should have been not been a call.
But then he'll complain, though, about calls.
Mahomes is 6-5 in games officiated by Blakeman. It's his second worst record among 20 referees who officiated his games. The 5 losses under Blakeman's crew account for 21.7% of Mahomes' 23 career losses.
Hey, man, you think these other refs, man, are sneaking around and gambling?
No doubt in my mind.
No
doubt in my fucking mind. Sending their brother-in-laws with a different last name to go and do it for them? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they're like, look, trust me. You trust me, you can bet this parlay. I got this.
Yep. I'll make sure. Dude, it's no different than the mob doing it way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think Vegas is? Vegas is a modern day racketeering mafia for money. That's all they are.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if 5-10 years down the road, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
The biggest mafia in the country is the government. I mean, hands up, don't shoot. We're not paying more taxes now.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be surprised if 5-10 years down the road, there's a quote unquote investigation that finds out that referees were betting on games and whatnot.
Yep.
But I mean, at that point in time, what do? You can't go back and change the record books.
I was going to say, you're going to take away the Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Those flags got to come down. Take them back.
Here's a fun fact. Cleve Blakeman was a college football quarterback for the University of Nebraska behind Steve Taylor, who was selected by the Colts in 89. He also had an 8-year career in the Canadian Football League. So
you're putting a whole lot of hope into Blakeman.
He's also when he's not an official. When he's not an official, guess what his job is?
He's judge.
Nope, he's a personal injury attorney. And partner at Carlson and Blakeman LLP. He's been practicing law for 30 years.
He's an ambulance chaser.
Basically.
Like Bill's or Rick's over here. He's like, I'm not even putting any faith or hope into my team. I'm actually putting all my faith and hope into this one referee.
Well, listen, and the way, but you have to when you're playing against Kansas City. It's sad to say, but you literally have to against Kansas City. And it's neat that our local newspaper back in Rochester, New York, the Democrat and Chronicle, wrote up this whole fucking, they got the whole backstory on the referee, the umpire, the down judge, and where they played college, what they do. It's fucking crazy. What some of these guys did.
It's crazy when you.
Who's commentating the game?
Oh God! Please don't be Collinsworth.
We talk about the Chiefs, but it's crazy when you look up when you Google Kansas City, however you want to phrase it. One of the top stories that still comes up, one of the first top stories that still come up, was back when they had the divisional matchup between Cleveland and Kansas City. That helmet to helmet that cost Cleveland the game.
Oh, I'm not mad. We got fucking Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling the game today.
Nice.
Tony Romo was audibly pissed about the call last week against Kansas City. So I am not mad about this one. At least it's not Chris Suck Patrick Mahomes, Dick Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Legit. That makes me super happy.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but
he does stay on his balls pretty.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I will take Nantz and Tony Romo. And to make it better, if he wasn't contracted under Prime, they should have brought Fitzmagic up there too.
Oh yeah.
That would honestly, I think. So this is my thing. You give somebody like Jim Nantz, the ability to, or Joe Buck, as much as I can't stand Joe Buck, give them the ability to be the main announcer, right? And then get you a panel of 2 quarterbacks from AFC and NFC and 2 receivers to be your secondary commentators that are recently played, like putting Romo and Fitzmagic up there, or Brady and Fitzpatrick up there, to announce with Jim Nantz. I think that would be really cool and highly educational for the average, not in-depth NFL watcher.
Mm-hmm. And then they should have a chat going. They should have a chat box going where people are like, you know what I mean, saying stuff so they could
asking a question that they don't understand. Like, what's the difference between encroachment, offsides, false start, and neutral zone infraction?
Yeah, and they can kind of like say during commercial breaks about certain things like that.
I mean, you break that down. You break down a neutral zone infraction, encroachment, and offsides, and most people can't tell you what the difference between the 3 of them is. Because it's such a small margin of difference between those 3 calls. Like, to me, encroachment and neutral zone infraction are the same fucking thing.
Pretty much.
It's just a different way of calling it.
I was going to say, isn't one an offensive penalty and the other one a defensive penalty?
Correct. Yeah. Neutral zone infraction is an offensive penalty. Encroachment is a defense. Encroachment is basically the defense's false start.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sorry. Every time I think about that, I go back to that one Pittsburgh game a few years back
where he was lined up clean across the line of scrimmage.
No, they threw the flag, and the ref comes out and he's like, false start on the entire offensive line except the center. It was against Pittsburgh, and the entire line except for the center jumped, and the center's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And the referee came out and he was trying to keep a straight face, but he was like, false start, entire offensive line except center.
So we've talked a lot about the Chiefs and the Bills today, and I think because of the historic rivalry right now in the last 5 years in the NFL, it's really overshadowing the Eagles-Commanders game today, which should be a really good game.
Yeah, before we jump to that real quick, Rick, I'm assuming you're picking Bills.
Yeah, obviously. This is our year, baby.
Who you got in this one, Derek?
I'm going Bills.
All right. And you know what? We're going Bills across the board. I can't. Yeah! I was rooting for the Bills last week, and I was like, I'm gonna put my voodoo hex
juju to yourself, Glenn.
I said I'm gonna put my voodoo hex on the Ravens, and I did, and I put my voodoo and my juju and all that away today.
Thank you.
And we're going Bills against KC across the board.
Go, boys!
I think that was a pretty easy pick. I know last week. Damn you, Derek. He said, I don't know. I think the Commanders could shake things up. And I was like, nah, you're crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, just to jump it off, and we can go ahead and just continue talking about it. I'm going Commanders.
Nice.
I'm going to go with Derek on this one. I think the Commanders have the ability to beat the Eagles today. And I think that you're looking at a Buffalo-Washington Super Bowl.
I know last week on the show, and I know, Rick, you agreed with me. I said, I'm calling it right now. The Cinderella story that is Jaden Daniels and the Washington Redskins ends in Philly this Sunday, but I'm taking back what I said. I think after watching Philly almost take an L against the Rams in prime weather for Philadelphia in the snow and everything else, I think that I'm jumping on the bandwagon with you guys, and I'm going Commanders in this game. I think the Commanders, and I think, Derek, you said it last week, they are sneakily good, man. They are a legit football squad in Washington.
I think we spent all season thinking like, okay, when are they going to run into the team that's just going to expose them? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, all right, well, hold on, they won this one. Oh, they won this one. And then they get into the playoffs, But I mean, given I get it too, because the Lions, their defense was beat up. They had a lot of injuries, so. But it's football, and that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And
It happens.
Jaden Daniels, man. What can I say? I wish he was a Tennessee Titan.
You're not a fan of. Now, I will say, in the regular season, the Commanders and Eagles split. They were 1-1. Philly took the first game 26-18, and at the end of the season, Washington took the game 36-33. So they've already played 2 good games against each other. They both won a game against each other. So, I mean, Washington has proven that they can beat Philly. So I think this is going to be one of those in their division rivals, their NFC West rivals.
West?
Is it West or is it East? No, it's East. It's East.
No, it's like, when did Philly move over to the West Coast?
It's East. I know, because Dallas always throws me off that they're in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Like how did that happen?
Why are they not in the NFC South?
Yeah.
I mean, you could move Carolina to the NFC East and put Dallas in the NFC South. That would make more fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because they're the farthest north team in the East.
Yeah. That would make a lot more sense. But yeah, I don't know why I said West, but yeah, that Dallas thing always throws me off. But so they do play each other twice a year, every year. They know each other. There's that divisional rivalry. I think this could be a one hell of a matchup, and I think the Commanders, man, they still got Scary Terry, that guy. I don't think he ages. I think he's like
Terry
Evans
McLaurin.
down in Tampa, but yeah, like Mike Evans down in Tampa. He doesn't age. He plays.
He's on that TB12,
right? I mean, Terry's in his 6th season in the NFL. You wouldn't think it. I mean, he's still playing top tier ball at the end of the day, and not only that, but I mean, they've also got.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. They've got Brian Robinson Jr., and he's been an absolute stud this season at running back. And then they got Zach Ertz, and we are all familiar with Zach Ertz from Philly. He was a stud in Philly. He's been doing pretty well this season in Washington. He's not like a superstar or anything like that. He's just one of those guys that kind of step up when you need him to make a play. So, I mean, Washington has all the components, and damn Jaden Daniels, man. We were on him early in the season. I know Rick and I were on him early in the season.
Can't get it out. No, this should slide. Yeah, thank you.
And he was an impressive rookie, man. You don't see this too often out of rookie quarterbacks. Guy that can carry a team all the way into a divisional championship game.
Yep.
So on the flip side of the coin, you have the Barkley effect, which is just
another rap.
Doing whatever he wants to whoever he wants, whenever he wants this season. So,
yeah, I think they're pretty equally matched up overall. You know what I mean? Like as teams as a whole. Maybe not player by player, but teams as a whole. I think it should be a really good matchup. But I think the Commanders are going to pull it off. I
hope so.
Well, it's a nice 40 degrees in Philadelphia currently. No snow in sight. It's a brisk 33 in Kansas.
It's pretty warm for winter.
Right? It's a brisk 33 in Arrowhead today. So, but so it's not looking like there's going to be a weather factor in either one of the games. But I think we know what we're going to get out of the Buffalo Kansas game. As we said, I mean, that's become kind of a bit of a rivalry over the last 5 years between those guys. But I don't think we know what we're going to get out of the Washington Philly game today. Who's going to show up?
I'm going to say the Commanders are going to show up. As a matter of fact, they're going to steamroll the Eagles.
Oh, steamroll!
Yep. I'm going to go. Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry are going to. They're taking the Eagles down by 14 today.
Yeah. Going in on them.
I say Brian Robinson Jr. 6 tutties. And the Commanders win by 35. No, I think it'll be a good day. I think it'll be a close game. I'll give it a by 7. That the Commanders win by a tutty, and it'll be one of those just like breakout plays, whether it's BRJ or Scary Terry and Jaden hook up on a big play.
I think it's going to look like it could be within a touchdown, like a 1-score game, and then at the end they'll win by, you know what I mean? Like they'll score again and seal the deal and be at least up by 2 scores.
Lock it in. So Eagles by 10, says Wally.
Wally must be drinking early today.
You know, so we're predicting a oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. We're predicting a Bills Commanders Super Bowl.
That's the hope.
I think that would be amazing too.
I wouldn't be mad at that Super Bowl.
I think it would be great, the story of Jaden McDaniels and the Commanders coming back as a team, you know, rebuilding how they have been, you know, and that's a great story. And then I think everybody's over this Chiefs bullshit with the refs. So the Bills to get past that, plus for the Bills themselves, you know what I mean, to get past that, all of that combined, I think that makes, you know, the Super Bowl that most people would want, unless you're an Eagles or a Chiefs fan.
Right. And obviously we can readdress it next week. You know, once we do have the Super Bowl locked in. But say this is the Super Bowl. Say we are right, and the Commanders go on and beat the Eagles. And again, the Eagles are having a phenomenal year. But I think if you take Barkley out of the equation, the Eagles don't have the year they had.
The Eagles are the Chiefs. They're not. They're barely a 500 team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they said it earlier. Barkley can literally break out at any given point in time and score a touchdown on a run. Saquon Barkley is your next, and I say next because I don't really know how long before old King Henry's going to end up retiring because he's just getting beat up for a while. But Saquon Barkley is your next Derrick Henry in the NFL.
Yeah. Except for Barkley can catch like a wide receiver.
Yeah, Barkley can catch. So that's what I'm saying. You take the Barkley equation out because just Barkley's played in all 16 games this season. He's rushed 345 times, which is 100 more times than he rushed last season with the Giants, mind you. Last season with the Giants, he only had 962.
So what does that tell you?
This year he had 200.
The Giants were utilizing him properly, is what that tells me.
So he ran 345 times for 2,005 yards. He was average yards a game 125.3, average yards a carry 5.8. He had 13 tutties, 2 fumbles, 1 for a loss. His receiving 16 games, 33 receptions, 278 yards, 17.4 a game. 8.4 a carry or a catch, a receiving or a catch. He had 2 tutties, 1 for 43, and he had 1 fumble as a receiver. So, I mean, he's accountable for 15 touchdowns this season.
And a team that's been winning games by 7 to 10 points on average. They don't have a high point average per game. The Eagles don't.
No, so no, they're.
I think that's what it'll take for the Eagles to win today. Like Barkley's got to have a monster game, not just a good game. I think if Barkley has a monster game, they can pull off the win. If he has just a regular good game, I think the Commanders.
If he has a regular good game, AJ Brown needs to have a spectacular game.
Yeah,
in order for the Eagles to win. It has to go.
He's been quiet in the playoffs.
He's been very quiet all season long. He has not been the guy they've talked about very much.
The Commanders have only had 4 games, 5 games of 30-plus points.
That's how many times
and most games have. What's that?
5 games at 30-plus?
Yeah.
How many has the Eagles had, though?
That's Philly.
Oh, Philly's only had 5 games.
Philly. Washington has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've had 7 games of 30-plus points. But they're also not really crushing. I mean, they had a few games like they.
Sorry, they're at the Chiefs game right now, broadcasting with Steve Smith Sr. All Chiefs fans, and there's 2 Mafia guys stuffed themselves right in the fucking middle of the camera shot, surrounded by ketchup and mustard in their fucking blue.
Nice.
It's so funny. That's great.
But you take the Barkley equation out of Philly, and they aren't as good as they were. I wouldn't say that they're as bad as I say Kansas is. If you take the ref factors out, I think you take the Barkley equation out of it, they might be just below 500, maybe a 500 team.
Yes,
in Philly.
I agree.
You take the refs out of the equation. I still stand by what I said. Kansas wins 3 games this season.
Yep. 5 at max. 5 at max.
Yeah. Washington, I think they've proven themselves time and time again that they are they're an all-around squad. You're probably your biggest name on that team coming into this season was Scary Terry, because you didn't know what you were going to get out of Jaden. You can't always base off what a guy does in college to do the same in the NFL. I mean, we could name. I can give you 2 from the Cleveland Browns. Tim Couch, Heisman Trophy winner, and that jerk off Johnny Manziel, which I never liked. They were great in college, and then any Ohio State quarterback outside of C.J. Stroud, they've come in. They've been good in college football, and then they come into the NFL and their ass. So, that doesn't always carry over from college to pro with the quarterback. But Jaden, man, he slid right in, and he's playing top tier quarterback in the NFL. His numbers don't lie. And
I think Jaden Daniels is. I think he's one of the top in 2 seasons, and then 2 years from now, mark my words, 2 years from now, Jaden Daniels will be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he will be working his way to fill the shoes of the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, because he is at least 6 years behind Allen, and those guys. So he will be your next generation of quarterback that is dominating in the NFL. I think the kid has the talent. If he stays healthy, he's done a really good job of avoiding getting his ass fucking pounded into the ground. But that's just it. He has to stay healthy.
I mean, that's a key factor for any player at the end of the day.
That means that his GM and his head coach have to put an offensive line in front of him that is going to protect him. He cannot be taking the blind side hits that he doesn't see coming. He cannot be trying to run through holes that were never actually there and getting leveled by your Max Crosby's, your Von Millers, your Matt Milanos. He can't be getting hit by guys like that. He will not have a sustainable career taking those hits. If he does like he's done so far, he's done a very good job at protecting the ball, at protecting his body, at not forcing a play that's not there. Mm-hmm. For a rookie to play and have the mentality and the intelligence in the NFL to not force the plays. A prime example, look at, and nothing against you, Derek, but look at Will Levis. Look at Caleb Williams.
I'm offended.
Look at Mac Jones. look at Daniel. Look at the guys who tried to force plays that were never there to begin with. And look at the turnover rate of those rookie quarterbacks when they were rookies by forcing something that was there. Look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen, prime example.
It's a mental thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to be the hero. They know the team is looking for the hero. That's why they're playing at such a young age.
And that's because
they bench for 2 years behind a veteran.
That's because the teams have left themselves in a position where when you come in, you have to come in as a hero immediately. You can't come in as a developmental quarterback. They don't.
That's right. And so
that's where the disconnect. That's where the disconnect is between college and pro. College is still your developmental stage. When you draft out of college, you are not pro ready. You need a season or two to develop under a coach and a quarterback.
And as much as we talk trash because it's the refs, but Mahomes is a talented QB. I hate the refs, but he sat for a year
behind what's his name? Was it Smith? Was that their quarterback?
Alex Smith, yeah.
Yeah. He sat for a year behind Alex Smith. He only came in because Smith got that leg fucked up.
Yeah.
So Smith was it? Didn't they go to the Super Bowl with him?
I was going to say they
went deep in the playoffs. Sure. So and look at the other quarterbacks in the NFL that got the chance to sit behind Sam Darnold. Prime example. Sam Darnold came in with the Rams years ago when the Rams were still in St. Louis. That was where he drafted to, I believe, was the Rams in St. Louis.
And I think he
got his ass fucking just devastated routinely. Then he got sent away and he sat. And he sat behind some good quarterbacks and he sat underneath some good coaching. And then he went to Minnesota this year where he had the experience. He had the time to develop and learn. He had weapons per se. And I use that with air quotes because Justin Jefferson and Addison are not, they're Odell Beckham Jr.'s on Minnesota. They're there when they make that big play. It's something talked about, but to be reliable, they don't have a reliable receiver that's going to be there every time you need to throw the ball. So that was where Sam Darnold kind of got the raw end of the deal in Minnesota, and unlike Jared Goff, who's in Detroit, who had those reliable receivers and those reliable running backs. So you take these rookies and you throw them right in out of college where they're still at the end of their developmental phase and they don't get that chance to grow underneath somebody. That's where you end up with, like you said, they're expected to be the hero right off the bat, and they're not ready for that.
And I think it gives them the time to acclimate to the speed change of the game.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like just walk them into it. Instead, you just throw them out there.
Throw them right to the wolves.
It works. Sometimes it works. Some guys need that. You know what I mean? Some guys need to be thrown.
They need that thrive under pressure situation.
Right. But not everybody, and most of them, even those guys would have been better.
Preferred to ease into it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think if you look at the numbers of quarterbacks that were thrown into it and succeeded versus quarterbacks that were thrown into it and fell on their face, the ones that succeeded is far less. Far less. I mean, you can look at this year alone. Jaden Daniels, thrown into it, succeeded. Caleb Williams fell on his face.
You can just look at the past years with all the number one draft picks that have been QBs. Where are they at?
Yep.
You know what I mean? That just shows it right there because all of them have been thrown out there and they're gone. They're like, no.
Wasn't Joe Burrow the most sacked quarterback in the NFL his rookie season?
He's been the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Like, what he's been in the league, 5 years now? 4 years?
Yeah.
Like his first 3 seasons, he was the most sacked quarterback.
He's a guy whose career is going to get cut short because he gets his ass just beat down game after game after game. But a lot of that goes to his intelligence level of not knowing when to get rid of the ball, too. and putting himself
And
in a position where he's going to get hit.
And I've said this about Joey B since he got drafted by Cincinnati. He's never gonna. Dude. You can't deny his talent. You cannot deny how talented Joey B is. But he's not gonna win big in Cincinnati. You could put that man. You could put that man on Cleveland's team, and I bet you he takes Cleveland to.
He had all the weapons in the world 2 years ago, and he still couldn't win it.
Yeah,
he had everybody in Cincinnati.
Cinco was still there.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that would have been nice to watch Burrow throwing to him,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of young quarterbacks that I would have loved to see like throw to players like
Terrell Owens.
Yeah, Terrell Owens, Randall L, just Randy Moss, players in their prime. Could you imagine some of these young bucks like Josh Allen throwing to some of these freaking old school wide receivers, Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice, shit like that. Oh my God.
Deion Sanders back in the day. Oh no, Deion Sanders though, he was on defense, wasn't he?
He played, he was a cornerback, wasn't he?
I think he was.
Hang on, I'm listening to a nice conspiracy theory on game day this morning.
Oh jeez.
They're calling it the Jim Kelly curse.
I said it since Joe Burrow's got drafted. I mean, the poor kid, he's got all the fucking talent in the world. But Cincinnati is not doing anything to help him. They're not. And he needs, hopefully while he still has enough in the tank, he goes somewhere else. Rodgers in the tank. Rodgers in the tank, says Wally. Rodgers in the tank. That's an SEC idiot for you. Oh, you're not claiming him like all the Ohio State fans do? They try to claim Joe Burrow as their quarterback.
Deion did play wide receiver in Dallas.
Yeah, that's what Wally said. He played both ways.
Okay.
What an interesting statistical curse. They call it the Jim Kelly curse, and Jalen Hurts is trying to break it. No quarterback has lost their Super Bowl debut and returned to a Super Bowl again since 1993. And he's going down the list of all these quarterbacks, including Drew Bledsoe, Rex Grossman, Jake Delhomme, all these guys, just going down this long list for the last however many years. It's never happened. And they call, I don't know why he calls it the Jim Kelly curse, but that's what he's doing. And it's kind of a neat. Didn't
Jim Kelly go 4 years in a row?
Did you just see that commercial they was doing? The
game
show?
Fox. I'm on NFL. What was the game show?
NFL, and they just was doing the game show thing where like the contestants were the different teams. They had some good stuff on there. I'm sorry, it was too funny, man. It was something going on with the Chiefs, and they even said it on a little commercial. They said, "Oh, they actually called a flag on the Chiefs."
Nice.
I was like, dang.
He's Kyle Brandt is one of the big Josh Allen advocates in the NFL sportscasters, and I like him a lot. I like the energy he brings to the fucking TV. I like the way he went in there with the zip up on, and he's like, to quote the late Thanos about Josh Allen, he took his sweatshirt off. He's like, "I'll do it myself." I like Kyle Brandt and the way he presents his arguments and stuff. He was the one that just did that argument about the Jim Kelly curse.
Nice.
That game, first game starts at 3, right?
Yeah, 3:00.
A Fox, right?
Yes. Hold on a second. Commanders, Eagles at 3:00 on Fox.
Okay.
Bills, Chiefs at 6:30 on CBS.
I got how I'm going to get this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get up out of here shortly, too. I got somewhere I got to be.
Make a deal.
He's going to put his lawyer suit on. He's going to go do something fancy on a Sunday.
Are you doing court on Sunday? It must be a big case.
It's something. It's huge today.
Nah. What time did you say the game was? At 3 or 3:30?
3 and 6:30.
Yeah,
6:30.
6:30.
No, we
The
can
important game's at 6:30. The 3 o'clock game is good space filler.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna lie, man. You want to know what I'm gonna be doing at 3:30?
Taking a nap.
Nah, I'm gonna be at the movies watching a movie. I'm going to the movie
Right.
theater. Sunday
You're going to
matinee.
see Moana
The
too,
game will
aren't
be
you?
on. I'm not even gonna be watching the first game. I just
You're
really
going
want to
to-
watch
you're
the
going to
ninth
see-
game, if I'm being honest.
You're going to see Moana too, aren't you?
Nah, Sonic 3.
Oh, Sonic 3. Hey, why are you going to the movies? It's already available on Prime Video. Watch it at home.
Well, the movie theater we go to is AMC.
I don't care.
those
Movies
seats,
are
the
terrible.
reclining seats, the
Oh,
heated.
dude, yeah.
I hate,
Nah, I mean, I'm telling you, the
hate
AMC
movie
is
theaters.
awesome.
Oh,
Dude,
AMC is awesome, man. I went to the AMC, and it's just, dude, it's awesome. It looks great. It sounds great. You can
We
feel
have
it
a
in the
place-
seats, and like I said, they lean all the way back, like you're just laying down, lounging in a theater,
Yep.
heated or cooled.
we have a place
Dope.
like that here called Dinner and a Movie, and you can order dinner and drinks, and they'll bring it to you during the movie and everything. It's
Yeah, there's
ridiculously expensive.
There's
But-
I think it's AMC, and we have AMC here in town, and I mean it's not. I mean that you can get alcohol and whatnot there, and we got the reclining seats as well. But there's a movie theater up in Easton, and dude, you go in there, and they got like the normal movie treats, your popcorns and candies and nachos and stuff. But then they have a bar off to the side where you can order your drinks, but then you can order an actual meal.
Yeah.
And dude, their seats are stupid comfortable. They actually have couches in their theater.
I don't like movie theaters anyway. You slice it.
I do every once in a while enjoy going to the theater and see it just for the experience. You know, you got the big screen, you got the sound, you know, you get the movie treats. You know, I got a big screen at home, but it's not like I have a movie projection.
The
screen,
last
and
movie I saw in theaters was Maverick.
Damn. I think the last movie we seen was Beetlejuice.
Nope.
Yeah, we went and watched Beetlejuice. I just got certain
Fuck
movies
off,
I just
Wally.
like to watch at the theater. I'd rather chill at home and watch a movie. Obviously, we were going to rent it on Prime and just watch it on Prime.
Yeah.
But I just certain movies, especially like little action movies, things like that.
Yeah.
I enjoy being there, just kick back in the, you know what I mean, on
Yeah,
the lounge.
Sometimes it's about the movie theater experience, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm with you on that, man. I mean, yeah, I know it's a little bit overpriced. It's a lot
Dude,
overpriced, let's be
Why don't
honest.
they show football games like that?
Bro, right?
They
I
have
was
football
just thinking
games.
that.
Bro. That would be
I
cool.
remember-
Saquon Barkley's wife as white as the driven snow. I didn't realize that until he just walked up to her.
Wife right
She is
there.
white as the
Red
driven
hair.
snow.
She got red hair, bro. She definitely
Yeah,
white.
yeah, like she don't go out in the sun white.
She's
She
white,
bathes
man.
into the rock.
That's fantastic. I didn't realize that until he walked up to her.
It's hilarious. Yeah, but football in the theater, that would be dope.
So
that would be
we
great.
did something like that in Buffalo years ago when the Sabres made a playoff run. I don't know, you don't watch a lot of hockey, but they had a playoff run that went all the way to the Stanley Cup against Dallas, and it was what we call the no-goal goal. The side of the net got lifted, and the puck slid under the side, and they called it a goal. So and we lost the Stanley Cup on that. But this was before instant replay and all that crap. So when they did that, they did what was called the party in the plaza, and they put a movie theater screen in the courtyard of the arena for the Sabres because they were selling out everything. Dude, you'd have 3,000 people standing in this fucking courtyard in the dead ass of winter watching the Sabres play hockey on a fucking, I think it was a 20 by 20 screen, 20 foot by 20 foot screen. And they were and they had the speakers on the outside of the arena broadcasting the announcing of the game. And we were out there just standing there drinking and carrying on like idiots in the freezing fucking cold, and it was free.
Yeah, no, I will say that about. I will say that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tailgate
Mhm.
right in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say that about the NHL, man. A lot of teams do that.
They'll
Tampa's
open the arena.
doing.
Nashville, man.
Tampa does it. They open up the arena, they put it on all the jumbotrons, and then they do the thing outside. Columbus, a couple years back when they were in the playoffs, when we suck it, Tampa.
Yeah, they do
When we
watch
swept-
parties everywhere for Nashville.
when the Blue Jackets swept the Lightning in the first round of the playoffs, they had the big screen set up right outside of Nationwide Arena, and Nationwide Arena is really cool because it's set up to go party. I mean, there's bars and restaurants all around the arena. I mean, like it's set up to party. But they had the big watch parties outside, and then they would have like DJs coming in, and then Tampa does the same thing. They get like DJs that come in and they're playing music, and they've got drinks and food and everything else. Man, like NHL does it right. I think the NHL has that unlocked with their block parties that they do for playoff watch games. And I know a lot of teams open up the arena, and like Tampa, you could buy tickets to come into the arena. And they weren't like stupid expensive,
like regular season, like regular game tickets.
Yeah, and you could watch the games on the jumbotron inside Lightning Arena. So, shout out to the NHL for doing it right. I wish the NFL would do something like that. But again, who wants to go stand out in the freezing cold in Philadelphia for a block party, or in Kansas City in the freezing cold? I mean, people are paying to go inside the stadium, but if I'm not going to the game and sitting inside the stadium, well, probably more than likely don't want to be standing out in the freezing cold when I can just as easily go to a B-dubs or a bar and sit and have
movie
drinks.
theater.
Yeah, man, a movie theater.
Movie theater football.
What up, Jedi? Making Sundays great again, baby. That's what we do. That's what we do here at the Nonsensical Network. My executive order. I signed the executive order that we're making Sundays great again, Jedi.
Not even mad.
Shout out to Ladies and Jedi and his crew and his channel. Appreciate you coming up last night, brother. We had fun hanging out last night. Even when I had to make a couple stooges look bad.
That happens.
Wrong house, motherfuckers. This dog bites.
Quiet down, Stephanie, you drunken Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, easy, Luke Combs.
I'll sing it to you. Quiet down, Stephanie. No. I know why Derek doesn't come up on Saturdays.
What are y'all doing on Saturday?
The fucking the space filler podcast is what I call it, where there is no format. We just bullshit and get drunk.
Yeah, Saturday nights is our.
Is that WTF?
No, it's Wednesdays.
Okay.
Wednesday. Saturday nights is actually is the show that actually started me on the road to start this network. We were doing Nonsensical Nonsense 3 nights a week, and that's what it is. We just get in there and we just hang out and chat and shoot the shit. Well, since I've created all the other shows, with the exception of like Wally's show, which is his baby, and Blaze's show that he does. Saturday night has become our main event. That's like the flagship show, Nonsensical Nonsense. We go 6 hours, and we actually put the link in the chat, and anybody and everybody can come up, and we just hang out. It's a party.
We've had some good people come up and pop in. Lazy Jedi is fantastic. Chaka's great when they come up.
Yeah.
But then you get nights like last night where Wild Bill Hillbilly and Stephanie come up and start calling people like me names, trying to call me fat without calling me fat by calling me Luke Combs. Listen, I wish I was that motherfucker with his money and his hot wife. But
another fraud podcast.
Hell,
yeah,
you could just sing like him,
bro.
You know what I
He
mean?
gave hope to every fat guy out there. Okay,
Yeah.
So they come up and start talking shit, and it was just kind of funny.
If I could sing or rap, yeah. Oh, dude, I tore it. But I've got issues in general with it. If I could sing or rap like my guest can on Glick's House of Music, I wouldn't be doing this shit.
You're
I'd
right.
be doing what y'all are doing. I'd be doing what y'all are doing.
You'd be waving that money like Derek did at the beginning of the show, just waving them fucking undos out.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd be singing my ass off.
I don't know if that was a lawyer settlement or if that was his music career that paid like that. I haven't figured it out yet, but does it matter?
Yeah, no, man. I'd be singing my ass off out here. We got Howie is saying
Bills
Philly,
Commanders.
Kansas. Gronk is saying
knows
Philly,
what's up.
Casey.
Right. Jimmy Johnson.
I don't even think Terry knows where he is. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
not.
dude. Hey, listen. A couple
He
of
was
minutes
almost.
ago, y'all were talking, so I wasn't saying nothing, but I had the same thought. I was about to go. He's giving me the Biden kind of feel.
I almost put
like,
Terry on my death list.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I mean,
When are we going to retire this guy? I know we're going to miss him, but come on.
I do love me some Terry Bradshaw, man. The original TB12.
There are 2 sports announcers that almost made it on my celebrity death list. And the only reason I didn't is because I'll be sad if either of them passes. One of them was Terry Bradshaw. The other one is Lee Corso.
I don't think that man's ever going to die.
He is looking. Well, you know when he'll die? He'll die when he can't do game day anymore. Just like Joe Paul died when he couldn't coach football anymore.
Yeah,
that's when Lee Corso will die.
Off the show.
Nope. And that's why, dude, they could give him 1 show a year and he's going to stay alive.
Look, we'll give you Super Bowl Sunday, okay?
No, Lee Corso. Yeah, well, that goes for Bradshaw. But Lee Corso, we'll give him a game in Florida so he doesn't have to travel because he lives in Orlando. We'll give him like a fucking Florida game or a Florida State game. Let him stay there for all LC because that dude is like, he's managed to outdance. He does the Irish jig past the Grim Reaper like 4 times now. This year, it almost got him because he almost ate shit on the stage.
Yeah, no, he almost did. No, yeah, I do love me some Terry Bradshaw, man. The original TB12. The guy's a character, but man, the last couple of years have been rough. I think them shots to the head or when he played are starting to. Yeah, man, he's a little spaced out most days, but I ain't mad at him. I do enjoy seeing him on Fox. He's one of my favorites on Fox.
Yep,
he always has been. It's like on game day, man. I love Kurt Warner and Rich. Dude, Rich cracks me up because that motherfucker is like the voice of reason and has no fucks to give about anything. But he was wearing his damn Michigan tennis shoes the week before, the week after the game, and talking shit on Ohio State. I'm like, bro, this is an NFL show, and you're talking shit on Ohio State. He's like, my show, my rules, motherfuckers. But, oh, man.
I'm getting
as
you get closer to game time, my brain is fucking doing 700 things about the Bills game, and I'm like, we gotta win this fucking game, man.
Hashtag quiet down, Stephanie. Quiet down, Stephanie.
Shut up, you drunken Jeff Goldblum. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna rock because I go eat something before I go.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's go ahead and wrap this little show up.
Yeah, I gotta watch Tom Brady announce this Eagles game.
Right? He's a handsome man.
Dude, as much as I hated him when he played for New England, he is doing a bang up fucking job announcing.
He's like so good.
I love it because he fucking knows. He's one season removed from the NFL. He fucking knows.
Well, that and he's a bit of a goofball.
He is. He's dude. Watching him play, I always thought he was the driest son of a bitch. Like him and Giselle only had sex missionary style. It was 2 pumps, and then he was like, "Okay, ma'am, I'm done," and he fell over. That kind of a guy. No, he's not. He is fucking hysterical, and he's always smiling, and he's always in a good mood. And he's always on his game. Unlike Troy Aikman, who's drunk half the time, and Collinsworth, who can't get off Mahomes' dick.
Well, there's that. But you also not only is Aikman drunk half the time, but
he looks like his head's about to explode. Like
his eyes are bugging right the fuck out of his face. He's like he needs to do a Visine commercial. He needs to get in touch with what's his name, Ben. What's his face? Ben Stein, whatever, and be like, you need some Visine, bro.
Only missionary fans. Well, there's a reason why we called Aikman back in the day Captain Concussion. You talk about somebody who's got head trauma. Yeah, you know Aikman's got some issues upstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, lights are on, but 9 times out of 10, nobody's home.
True story. That's why he drinks.
It's like watching Bernie Kosar, his drunk ass calling, when he's in Cleveland, before the game, pre-game and post-show, and then he's up in the booth during the game. It's like, Bernie, I thought you quit drinking, man, but it's not the drinking no more. It's
just his fucking head.
Yeah, it's just.
I think you'll see Ben Roethlisberger like that pretty soon.
Ben Roethlisberger's been like that his whole life. What are you talking about?
You're right.
Again, as I was saying last night, kissed by an angel on the forehead. That's what my grandma used to call special needs kids.
Yeah, he was kissed by something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But, a couple of helmets, a couple of football
years
helmets.
of being kissed by guys on the forehead.
Ben Roethlisberger was such a big oaf, man. Like every time he would start to run the ball, I'm like, you can't. Like he was just a big bumbling buffoon.
Dude,
he was so goddamn big and strong that nobody could
rolling
tackle
a refrigerator down a fucking hill and trying to stop it.
Yeah,
look, it was funny to see him. I was gonna say it was funny to see him like be like that, but still like stumble out of stuff and throw the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, how are you that big
Right.
and they're wrapped around your ankles and you manage to maintain your balance to get out of it? Like that's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
100%.
He was like pulling off Lamar Jackson stunts, but like looking like somebody who was slipping in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Look like the fucking Big Show from wrestling trying to act like Lamar Jackson.
Whoa.
Which one?
Yeah, right? Dude was wild. All right, boys. We got some games starting. The Eagles just took the field. Let's go, Commanders.
Let's go, Command. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, man. Let's go. Let's go, Commanders. Let's go, Washington. Let's go, Washington Commanders. I mean, Redskins.
Let's go, Redskins.
Let's we'll go ahead and wrap this up. If you guys are okay with it, I think maybe starting next week we'll kick the show off at 1. We'll start out our new. Like I said, I think the new time will work out better. I know, Derek, you go to church and stuff on Sundays, and you're kind of rushing on at noon, and
it'll give me the chance to get the kids up on a Sunday and get them fed after a late night with your drunk ass on Saturday.
Oh yeah, because I'm the only drunk ass on there
first.
Listen, I'm not. It's not me.
Yeah, okay.
It ain't me eating 6 pounds of potatoes after the show ends. Get the fuck out of here.
There's been a few Sundays where I've got that text in the morning from you, fucker. What?
Yeah,
you look how I feel right now, Rick.
Yeah, bro, it's always your fault though. No, you know what it is? It's my fucking kids. They're like, oh, get on Glick's podcast so they can play video games, and they continuously feed me fucking booze. So next thing you know, I'm 3/4 shithoused on your fucking Saturday night, and they're just playing their hearts out on video games.
It's not my fault. You have free will. Derek,
you influenced my children.
It sounds like you got cool kids to me, in my opinion.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
You have free will, and we're 8 hours or 6 hours away from each other, however far away we are. I can't force you to drink, buddy. It's not like I'm sitting there beside you with a funnel pouring them down your gullet.
You would be if you could be.
Jeff has made that very clear. He's very thankful that he's in Cancun and I'm in Ohio, because he knows that if we were to do the show together, he would be a raging alcoholic, because he would not be able to do a show in my presence and not drink.
Yeah, duh.
But anywho, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Make sure you give us a follow everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows live Sunday through Monday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Tune in tomorrow night. We got Wally coming back with Speedway Stories and Cold-Blooded Conversations. Not quite sure what he's doing tomorrow night. I guess Connor will be live tomorrow night. And Tuesday on Glick's House of Music, I have Texas rock duo Lift the Curse is going to be coming on and hanging out with me. Looking forward to that. Those guys are super cool. They got some kick-ass music as well. And then check out the rest of the shows throughout the week. And then you can listen anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at. We are on all those platforms. Don't forget to check out Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. You can get all your nonsensical swag or just anything in general that you want. Nikki will get you taken care of. Beauty and the Beard Creative Corner. Don't forget to go check out our boy, Derek Wayne Douglas. He is everywhere. Derek Wayne Douglas, making music. Do you have a new song coming out, or is that an older song that you're hyping up right now? Fate.
Yeah, that's a song I already had. I've got like a little plan going on right now. So you'll probably see me online with a lot of my songs that are already out because those songs are new to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've kind of like forgot that, hey, I still got these songs over here. I don't have to make new songs and put them out and only promote the new song. Like I could promote other music. It's new to other people. So yeah.
Yep. 100%, man. Definitely digging Derek's music as always. Check him out. Show him some love. And well, outside of that, Rick, you got anything before we roll bounce?
Everybody take 1 second and say a prayer to the football gods that the officials do not fuck Buffalo out of this win. Because the city needs it at this point. They might burn that fucker down. The Bills Mafia in Arrowhead may burn the stadium down if a bad call decides that game, because we are about sick and fucking tired of losing to the Chiefs in the playoffs on bad calls.
100%.
I agree. I just want to see a fair football game at the end of the day.
I think in a fair football game, the Bills come out on top, to be honest with you.
I would agree.
But that's all I got. Go Bills. This is our year, I'm hoping. If they win today, I have to go to my storage unit because I have to get my table. I've had it for 15 fucking years. I've had that table.
As the great Bubba Ray Dudley says in wrestling, "Come on, get the tables."
Yep, I've had that table for 15 years.
And that'll be live on Unnecessary Roughness when Rick goes through a burning table.
We'll have to make it a Sunday when my kids are here so they can set that bitch on fire for me and make sure they can call 911 if I can't get up. I have to take my watch off too so it doesn't go off for a fall alert.
Not only is Rick going through a burning table going to make for great content for the show and the network, but if he can't get up and he's rolling around on the ground in a burning table, that's going to make for even better content.
You will have to make it your mission to hype the show for a level of viewership that you've never seen before.
Yeah,
when I go through that table.
So you're going through the table if they make the Super Bowl or if they win the Super Bowl.
If they win the Super Bowl, I will go through a flaming table.
Okay. Oh yeah, we'll hype the hell out of that. We'll hype train.
Like you'll have to create like Facebook video posts and Insta posts and TikTok posts to hype that up. So you can do it live. Yeah, I'm gonna do it live.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do it live on the show.
So that live. Yeah, I gotta be there.
Huh?
Yep. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, I will go through a flaming table to celebrate for the Bills Mafia.
I might come up with something I'm gonna do.
Who do you think's gonna win, Philly or Washington?
We'll all do something.
Probably gonna be Philly.
Oh! Did Cassius lone wolf it?
We got a celebrity picker in the building today. He came back to look and see who our picks were.
It's probably gonna be Philly, but I want the Commanders to win.
Are you picking Philly or the Commanders?
I'll pick Eagles
because he's picking the you got a howl. It's a lone wolf.
Ow!
Yeah. it's who's gonna probably win.
Who you got for Bills, Kansas City?
This will decide if I like your son or not.
I changed my pick. I have the Commanders.
Oh, Cash is not lone wolf, but he's changing his mind.
Okay. So he's on board across the board with us, right?
Yep. He's with us. And he said Bills.
Good, smart kid. I don't have to drive all the way to Ohio.
You what?
All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Later, Derek. Have a good weekend, buddy.
The web. Yep, I'll see y'all.
No, I don't have to drive all the way to Ohio and powerbomb Cash through a table.
Right. I think he's been a Bills. He's been rooting for the Bills the whole playoffs. So I mean, we obviously I have too. But I think he's been going Bills throughout the playoffs. So
All right.
With that being said, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Don't forget to give us a follow, like, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know what we do and we do how we do. We'll be back next Sunday. We'll be talking about the game.
You're going to have to update our background for next Sunday, by the way. We have to have that updated for next Sunday.
Yeah. Next Sunday, I'll update it to the Super Bowl matchup.
If you want, I'll keep track of what I've got going on and see if Buffalo makes it. They are notorious for having AI generated pictures, which they did after the Ravens, where it was a giant buffalo with smoke coming out of his face stepping on the Ravens helmet. Like I will see you've got a couple right there. So
yeah, I've got this one that I found at the beginning of the season that I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's something that it is obviously for I still have that. That's a good background right there.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to make sure I have something that has both teams with the, for the Super Bowl, whatever. But yeah, we'll definitely update it for next week. Don't forget next week, new time, 1:00, we'll be kicking off the show. And we'll be talking Super Bowl and whatever else we decide to talk about sports-wise. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, be good or be good at it. Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely get something like that.
I want them to have those fucking blue helmets, the matte blue helmets, so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad. And they just don't do it.
Right.
So frustrating.
Oh, I'm gonna make a note. Speaking of helmets, I want to make a note because I want to bring this up next week. I don't want to bring it up this late in the game. There's supposedly rumors about a new Cleveland helmet, and the fans are not happy. But I think they look cool as shit.
There you go.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Like there's a helmet.
State Farm doesn't cover this, Patrick.
Why is this back here?
So,
yeah. So we will see you guys next Sunday. Tune into the rest of the shows throughout the week. Monday, as I said, Speedway Stories, Cold-Blooded Conversations with Wally, followed by Men Caring for Men with Connor. Tuesday, Glick's House of Music. I'll be hanging out with Lift the Curse. Wednesday, What the Fuck News. Friday, Nonsense and Chill. Saturday, Nonsensical Nonsense, and then Sunday. Oh yeah, and no Cash's Corner this Saturday.
Cash taking a weekend off.
We don't do the show on the weeks that he's with his mom.
Oh, okay.
We do a week on, week off with kids.
There's a good one.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, the Buffalo's moving.
All the dead Ravens on the field. Yeah. So, all right, man. Let's go watch these two games today. Let's go Commanders. Let's go Bills.
Let's go Buffalo. Thank you guys for listening. Buddy. See you later, brother.
Later, bro.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football clashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.